My friends, I hope you guys are doing well. I felt called to come on and do a love reading for you today before I started my personal reading, so let's have a look. If you did book a personal with me, the rushes are all going to be returned by January 10th. If you booked in December and was told 4 to 5 weeks, those should be done by the date of my surgery, so by the 14th. And then if you booked for January 20th to February, or February into March, or March, those will be done January, February, or March. So if you're curious about when you booked for, it's in the message that I first replied with. And thank you for your patience. So let's get into your reading. I was hearing feelings, checking out your person's feelings, but first I want to see what's going on with you and your person. And I felt called to wear white today, so maybe you are working on your divine feminine energy. Not talking about gender. All right, let's see what's going on here. I'm also going to be using, when I first got into tarot, I found this deck on, I think it was Amazon. It was super cheap. It was like maybe $10. And I had no idea at the time that this was actually a rip-off deck or like a cheapy version of someone who actually created this deck. So I felt called to use this deck today. It's called the Dark Mansion. And before I started your reading, I felt called to go buy the real version. So this isn't the real version. This is the cheapy version. But I'm excited to get the actual version of it. So the top card that I pulled is the Queen of Swords. So maybe you have your boundaries up, or maybe, you spoke your authentic truth to this person and maybe they went bye-bye. But we'll see. That's no laughing matter, but I don't know why I found that comical. Some people can't handle the truth. You know what I mean? You can't handle the truth. Queen of Swords. All right, so let's have a look at what's going on here in your connection. We have nostalgia, missing you. Let's see what's going on here. We have the Phoenix. Are you phoenixing? Mr. Crow is outside. All right, so let's see what we got. We've got the Mask. Someone's holding their cards close to their chest, not showing their hand, so they could be holding back. We also have, it says hide, pretend, delude, gaslighting. So hopefully this person wasn't gaslighting you. Maybe they were, and you had to put up boundaries, or maybe they were, and you were speaking truth. All right, so let's see what comes out. What do we need to know for this collective? This feels like it was a challenging connection. You could be trying to keep a positive mindset. Abundance. You could be focused on your abundance right now, trying to keep a positive mindset about this connection. We have the Mirror. So mirroring each other's self-image, relationship, reflect our wounds, introspection. So clearly you and this person were triggering each other. You were reflecting back to each other what you needed to heal. We have wedding rings. So for some of you, maybe you were married to this person, or maybe you thought you were going to get married to this person. Union, wedding, married, soul connection. Soul connection. So you could resonate with being counterparts. Again, clearly this was a triggering connection, because everything you needed to heal would have been triggered within this connection, and anything that they needed to heal would have come up. Interesting. And we have palm tree. So stability, security, permanence, growth, endurance. So you could have seen yourself, I don't think you're like in this energy right now. I don't think that you are in a happy marriage with stability and strength, but maybe you were in a marriage that seemed stable, and then you started triggering each other, or maybe you did think it was possible to reach this point with this person marriage. That stability and strength, that could have been something that was triggered within this connection. Maybe this person was lacking stability and strength. I think that you were both triggering each other to be stronger versions of yourselves. You could be very focused on your stability right now. Let's get a few more. Trying to keep a positive mindset. Let's get a few more for this collective. So we have clock. So this one needed time to heal. Cycles, progress needs time. So you could have been stuck in some sort of cycle with this person, and clearly there needed to be some time spent away from each other to reflect, to go within, hermit energy, to heal these things that were being triggered. We have coffin. Endings bring new beginnings, growth, change, liberation, transition. So there was definitely an ending here. Let's see what else we have. Oh. Okay. So again, trying to keep a positive mindset. And we have love call. So I don't know if this person has reached out yet, but maybe that's what you are hoping for. Maybe that's what you're trying to keep a positive mindset about. We also have addiction. So your person could have addictions. You could have addictions. Codependent, obsession, possession, has a block, restraint. So with this codependency, this could have been triggered within this connection. So if you, let's say you have anxious attachment tendencies, so this person would have triggered that within you so that you could finally heal it. Codependent wound, some people become anxiously attached to it. Other people become avoidant when they feel that codependent energy. Trying to keep a positive mindset, though, about someone expressing their love for you. And we have boat. So perhaps you feel, because this boat is about receiving what you need, progression, arriving, moving on. Maybe you're lacking closure within this connection, and maybe you're hoping that once you hear from them, you'll be able to move on, or that you'll be able to get some kind of closure or clarity. But we don't actually, and I know this might trigger some people, but we can't rely on getting closure from another person. Sometimes we have to get that closure ourselves. I'm going to get one more because I'm curious if you're talking to this person or not. If you are talking to them, they'd be, remember that not showing hand? So they'd be holding back from you right now. And maybe that's triggering you. Are these two people talking? That's what I want to know. Not today. So it doesn't feel like you're talking today. We have the butterfly. So relationship evolving to the next phase, healing inner child, growth. But it also says not today. So I don't feel like you're talking to this person yet. But I think that you're hoping to hear from them. And that this relationship can evolve to the next phase. You could be going through, this is a transition. And that coffin card talked about a transition. So it seems like there's been an ending. And you're kind of right in between possibly an ending and a new beginning. But not today. So someone could still be feeling too hurt to talk, or too triggered to talk. It also says boundaries. So maybe you did, Queen of Swords, maybe you did put up boundaries. And this person is avoiding coming forward right now. Let's get a few more. Why not? 1, 2, ascending. So it looks like somebody could be watching you but not coming forward. Similar to that reading I did yesterday, there could have been gaslighting. We have transcending obstacles, learning, expansion, new phase, preparing for union. So it doesn't feel like this has come in today. It doesn't feel like this has come in yet. It feels like this person could be keeping an eye on you. So like I was saying, it looks like this person is keeping an eye on you, keeping their cards close to their chest, not taking action at this time. They could still be, I'm hearing maybe their ego is, like if you spoke your truth, remember when I said you can't handle the truth, maybe your truth or putting up boundaries, maybe it bruised this person's ego. Maybe it triggered their ego. And maybe they're, I don't know why I'm hearing butt hurt, but I was hearing butt hurt. But maybe they're not ready to talk to you yet. And we have photograph looking at your photos, missing you, nostalgia, wanting to make new memories. So just looking at the bottom here, there's only 3 cards up. And then Spirit closed the deck. So I'm going to talk about it. We have girl with a snake, person with a snake. Doesn't have to be gendered. Empath and narcissist paradigm, being charmed or used, enable boundaries. So again, you could have been putting up with some not so great behavior here. And this person could have come in to reflect back to you that you needed to learn how to put up boundaries and stop people pleasing. You could have reflected back to them some of the unhealthy traits they had. With this empath narcissist paradigm, I'm not saying you're dealing with a narcissist. If you are dealing with an honest to goodness narcissist who is hurting you, and maybe even there's physical or other awful things going on, I wouldn't be watching tarot about that person hoping that they would change. I would get yourself some help. But this to me is more about the energy that empaths attract. So empaths who maybe aren't empowered yet, maybe haven't learned those lessons yet, empaths can attract the most wounded people because they have a lot of compassion and patience, and they can sometimes put up with less than they deserve because they have such big hearts. And perhaps you and this person attracted each other so that they would learn a lesson about themselves and you would learn a lesson about enabling this behavior, because a person can only treat us badly if we allow it. So, healthy, like empowered, healed, or healing, and I'm not trying to insult anyone when I'm saying this, but people with secure attachment styles, people who how can I put that? I don't want to insult you. I'm not sure if you felt like this person was insulting you. But like people with secure attachment styles who have worked on their healing, that know their worth, wouldn't enable bad behavior. Like if someone was mistreating them, they would say like, you're mistreating me, you suck, get away from me, or whatever they say. But us empaths, we can enable bad behavior sometimes, especially if we're married or we feel a soul contract with someone. So I feel like this connection was meant to help you empower yourself and learn how to put up boundaries and stop enabling bad behavior. And maybe that boundary, or you speaking your truth to this person, was meant to bring awareness to them about some of their tendencies. But I'm hearing it bruised their ego if you put up boundaries. And then we have the Phoenix, which is interesting. I was feeling Phoenix energy earlier. I had to put off doing this reading while I was all red. And we have the Runner. So maybe you got burned too many times by a runner, or too many times by someone who... You had 2 cards that talked about gaslighting. So maybe you were burned too many times by this person and you finally rose like the Phoenix. New phase, rekindle, renew, transformation, growth, changed mind. And we also have the Runner. So Runner in a codependent relationship, that's what I mean. When they feel a codependent attachment, someone with avoidant tendencies or runner energy will run once they feel an attachment to someone because it scares them. They could be dealing with a fear of abandonment, fear and ego issues. So perhaps you finally rose like the Phoenix that you are, and this person continued running. So that's what I have for you today. Goodbye. No, I'm just kidding. Could you imagine? I couldn't imagine that. My readings are so long. I couldn't imagine just being like, peace out. All right, so I want to get a card for each of you to see what energy you're in. We have the octopus on the bottom. This is about boundaries and, you know, messy relationships. So maybe, interesting, maybe this person has a tendency to have messy relationships. Maybe you did. It is lacking boundaries, right? It also talks about how when you are around an octopus type person, you can feel drained by their energy. And it makes me think of that empath narcissist paradigm card, because again, those wounded souls that need to heal are attracted to empaths, and they can kind of suck the energy out of the empath. I'm hearing energy vampire anyway. But you know, I've heard some people talk about how empaths can be just as wounded. And that's what I mean by maybe before empaths become empowered, they can be quite unhealthy by enabling that type of behavior. So you could have felt really drained within this connection. You could have felt energetically drained within this connection. All right, so let's see what we have going on here. We have the cosmic egg. Awakening. I feel like this connection was meant to wake you up. We have the hummingbird, positive mindset. And one more. We have the camel. I don't know. This is smelling like that. The camel always gives me distorted, well, no. The shadow of the camel gives me the shadow of King of Cups or the Knight of Swords. So the camel reversed, which it's in reverse, and we have the cosmic egg in reverse. So it feels like somebody needed to wake up here. But the camel is about someone who can't handle their reactions. You know, they don't take accountability for their reactions. And when they feel triggered, they kind of spit, you know. They react, intense arguments, Knight of Swords, hurtful words, aggression. Because that ego is being triggered, I was hearing bruised ego. There could have been some sort of emotional manipulation here. All right, my nose is running. Is that your runner, the camel in reverse? Is that your runner? Let me see, camel in reverse. I already explained the camel, but I opened right up to the octopus. Froggy in my throat, releasing, cleansing, healing. Like camel, resourceful, independent, knows oneself. It can handle absolutely anything. Handles challenge with ease, even in the face of excess heat, judgment, or anger. The camel, responsible for one's own reactions. But it was in reverse. All right. So maybe you and this person were really reactive in this. Like when your wounds are being triggered, it's kind of like someone's poking a bruise or sticking their finger in a wound, right? So we tend to react. Our ego tends to try and protect us. So let's cut the deck and see what energy you and this person are in. We have the fox on the bottom. Oh, the fox. Seven of Swords energy, perhaps. It's in reverse. No. Is it non-committal? Doesn't know themselves. So this is about not knowing yourself. All right. So the fox in reverse, it's about someone who doesn't know who they truly are. So they could be like heavily programmed. They could not be, how can I put that? It's like someone, to me, it's like someone who doesn't know who they truly are. So, you know, someone who probably was avoiding looking at their shadows. You maybe didn't really know yourself when you came together with this person. That mirror energy, right? It triggers both of you to kind of heal and learn about who you truly are. We also have the peacock in reverse. So think about it. The peacock in reverse, in the upright, it's advanced acceptance of the self and others. So to me, I see, you know, the people in our community, I see you as peacocks because you're learning how to have compassion for all walks of life. You know, human beings are complicated creatures. This energy, to me, is symbolic of, it's almost like a little bit divine feminine energy to me, like someone who can accept others even though they're wounded, even though, like, you can understand they're wounded because of what they went through. It doesn't mean you have to accept bad behavior. It doesn't mean you shouldn't put up boundaries, but you don't necessarily villainize everyone, is my point. Acceptance of the self and others. And peacocks are rare. So it's in reverse. And I feel like just because of what I do and the energy I see, I feel like you could have been very accepting, maybe too accepting, of this person's shadows. But I don't think this person was accepting of their own shadows. So maybe they got really defensive. Maybe they weren't ready to look at their shadows. With that fox in reverse, unsure of identity. Ah, and then we have the unicorn. Yeah. My favorite. I'm getting all kinds of information from this deck. Now I have to show you something. I'll show you in a moment. So the unicorn, spiritual awakening, waking up to divinity, the divine journey. Beautiful. So maybe even maybe you could see through this person's woundings. Maybe you even questioned if this was a divine connection or not, because this can be about questioning divinity. Is it real? It's real, all right. Magical unicorns, that's us. So, like I said, maybe you had an inner knowing. Or maybe you accepted this person, you had an inner knowing about their wounding, but they were not able to see it. Then we have the spiritual panther. I don't know why I call it the spiritual panther. It doesn't say spiritual panther. I think it's because there's a reader I watched that calls it the spiritual panther. Maybe that's why. But the panther. So you could have felt, there could have been a tower moment between you and this person, because this is about, you know, the panther wreaks havoc because it's meant to cleanse you. It's meant anything that's not aligned with your higher self or for your highest good or is lower vibrational energy needs to be annihilated, is what the panther says. So maybe you and this person got to a point where there was a tower moment. It also makes me think of just this connection. It was meant to trigger anything that was no longer aligned with you, as in those attachment styles we talk about, or fear of abandonment, or lack of self-confidence, or being unable to put up boundaries, or enabling bad behavior, all of those things we talked about. We also have the scorpion, which can be about someone who can sting when triggered. Knight of Swords energy again. I have to show you something. I felt like this was going to come up, but I left it on. I was looking at this right before I started your reading, and I thought, if any type of unicorn energy comes out, I'm going to show it to you. And I was feeling like it had to do with this reading. But I was very drawn. I was looking at this metal. So I told you I'm doing, I think it's called the Conqueror app, where it tracks how much you walk or how many steps you take. And you can work towards getting these really nice medals. My freaking sister got me onto these. But I did this one, the North Coast. So maybe, is that, that's Scotland, right? The North Coast. So maybe the North Coast is symbolic. But the only reason I did this one, other than having Scottish background, is because of what was on the back of the medal. So before I started your reading, I was looking at this unicorn. And it says, I am undefeatable. And if you look, there's chains around this unicorn. So you definitely could be breaking free from, when I see chains, I think of unhealthy attachments. I think of addictions. I think of the devil energy, where sometimes the devil person has the two people in chains or chained down. So I do feel like you're breaking free somehow from these chains that have kept you stuck, and it was triggered within this connection. Maybe it even includes like breaking free from the codependent attachment you felt towards them. Anyway, this reading is getting interesting. All right, so let's see. I just want to cut the deck one more time before I shuffle. I won't look at the bottom, but let's see a card for you and your energy. Show me the viewer. We have okay. I like that. I like that. Keeping that positive mindset. I should have mentioned the turtle. I was thinking of a turtle this morning. I should have mentioned it. What happens to me is I think of something and I'm like, I wonder if that has to do with what I'm about to channel. And then I don't mention it and it always comes up. But I like this, the otter. So to me, this is more of a healed attachment style. This is someone, well, I'm seeing it as you, but this is someone who's full of love in themselves. And, maybe this person triggered you, like maybe you were looking for love outside of yourself. And maybe this person reflected back to you, possibly by not treating you right, that the love you've been looking for, the love you've been chasing, the runner. Chaser didn't come out. Chaser did not come out. High five. Don't leave me hanging. Chaser did not come out. But it's almost like it was reflected back to you that the love and respect that you've been looking for has been within you all along. So the otter is about full of love, needs nothing. So perhaps you really are focused on your self-love right now. The dolphin! I love the dolphin. Yeah, you rock. You rock. Healer. Focusing on gratitude, maybe. Innately intelligent. And there's many different ways to be intelligent. A lot of people think intelligence is just book smarts, but it's not. I'm spiritually intelligent and like life experience intelligent, but I'm not book smart intelligent. There's different ways to be intelligent. But anyway, a healer, blessings. You could be finding like-minded people who like the same kind of things you do. Very high vibrational energy. Those chains are not holding you down. Now I'm hearing that song, Ain't Nothing Gonna Break My Stride, that song. I've got to keep on moving, so you're just trying to keep moving forward. I like it. Positive mindset, but again, I think you're finding the love within you, self-love, starting to like your own energy. I'm seeing, maybe your name is, what's her name? Oh no. Oh no, my card. Oh no. Anyway, I was hearing, I cannot remember her name in the movie, but in Love Actually, I was seeing Keira Knightley, where she's watching the videos of herself and she's like, I'm quite pretty. Maybe you're realizing you're quite pretty, or you're quite awesome, or you're quite amazing. So we have the turtle. So the turtle does talk about experiences that we accumulate through our life experiences, even trauma, that we kind of store under our shell. And the hermit always makes me think of the hermit energy. So when I see the turtle, I think of all those wounds and baggage we've accumulated throughout our life. And then we go into hermit energy, we pull our energy inward, and we reflect on all of these unhealed things, which I think is what is being triggered within this connection. You could also be destined to use these experiences that you've stored underneath your shell to help others. Mission work. That's something that I do. Like, I like to share, it's a neurodivergent thing, but I like to share some of my experiences as examples to help others. So it feels like you're trusting the flow of this. You're trusting your journey right now. I like it. And then we have the gazelle. So the gazelle, highly perceptive. You could be highly perceptive to other people's energy. You could be able to read people's energy. It's interesting because this gazelle is sitting down. And maybe you used to, like, when I think about a gazelle, they're very elegant, graceful. But the fact that this gazelle is laying down shows patience to me. It shows a lack of fear, because a lot of the time gazelles are on high alert for predators, right? But this gazelle is laying down, kind of comfortable in their own energy, if that makes sense. I like your energy. I like it. I like it. I love it. I want some more of it. I opened up to the dolphin. Light. Healer. Join us. Strong spiritual practice. When out of balance, underestimates their own power. Don't you dare underestimate your power. You are powerful. So for Christmas, maybe some of you don't even know what I'm talking about, and I'm about to feel really old. But for Christmas, my mom gave me your water. My mom gave me a magnet with a picture of me on it. I should just go get it and show you. And apparently when I was young, I used to watch He-Man and She-Ra. And it's a picture of me like, yeah, power! Anyway. Turtle. Yes, ancient soul. So have you been told you're a wise soul or an old soul? I have. Grounded, trusting, at home in the self. I'm more excited for you than you are, I think. Feeling at home in yourself, in your own energy. And that's hermit energy. True hermit energy. When you learn to be at home with yourself, you feel comfortable being alone. Beautiful. Maybe you're feeling more at home in your body. Maybe you're feeling more at home being your authentic self, Queen of Swords. So not caring what other people think so much. Beautiful, peaceful, adventurous, and productive. Nice. I like it. Connected to the deeper truths of life. Turtle energy is behind all great writers and storytellers as they collect life experiences under their shells for later use. So maybe you didn't even know, like for me, I had no idea why, all my life, I'm like, why am I going through all these like trials and tribulations? Now I know. Weird. I just accidentally opened up to the camel. Heightened awareness and ability. Graceful, perceptive, artistic, the gazelle. So gazelle personalities are often hyper aware of their surroundings. Empath. That's total empath energy. So sitting in the present moment, finding your breath, nourishing your gentle spirit. Beautiful. I love your energy. Can I have it? I'm just kidding. If I could, I would bottle it and share it with the world, not for profit. Anyway, love your energy. Love. Powerful. Powerful. All right. Now, let's get on to this person you're connected to. What's on the bottom of this deck that I chose? The Hanged Man. A pause, a period of limbo to bring new perspectives, holding energy back. Two of Cups underneath. So definitely like a separation. No, I don't need to shuffle. What am I doing? So let's see your person's energy. Show me. Didn't want to come out, but I'll talk about it. Okay. The Hawk. Nice. Ooh, the Fire Ant. So this person is stewing about a situation in the past with you. Stewing. I don't believe in accidents. Remember what are you? Interesting. The Vulture. That fish. I'll come back to you. So remember, I don't believe in accidents. July 11th could be symbolic. It just popped into my mind. I'm just looking at the cards. Remember when I said you can't handle the truth? This person, and then we had the not today, feeling hurt, and I said I don't know, I don't say butt hurt, but I heard butt hurt. I was hearing bruised ego, and then I heard butt hurt. So you could have spoken your truth. Remember I said you can't handle the truth, and maybe you triggered somebody here. Their energy right now is, they're stewing about an unresolved issue from the past with you. This could be someone who's very easily triggered because they have a lot of woundings, and with the peacock in reverse, they're not accepting of their own woundings or shadows or shortcomings or whatever it is. I explained this in a reading yesterday. Like when I say true divine feminine energy is not trying to control the outcome. True divine feminine energy is not obsessing about how long it's going to take. And I said to you, I'm not saying that to trigger you. I'm saying that to empower you so that you can look and say, oh yeah, sometimes I do have a problem with patience. I'm going to work on that because I want to be in divine feminine energy. I'm not telling you to make you feel bad. I'm not telling you to put you down. I'm trying to empower you. Knowledge is power. Just the way when we look at our shadows, it empowers us. But this could have been someone who wasn't accepting of their own shadows. So when you spoke your truth, it could have really triggered them. Anyway, they're stewing. We have the Hawk. So there's a change in the wind. I just heard the movie Nell. Tie in the wind. So there's a change. I'm seeing the King of Swords with this one. There's a deck I use where the King of Swords... Listen, I think that maybe communication is being held back right now until they're not in that bruised ego type of energy. Because I'm almost seeing there's this King of Swords card I have where the King of Swords has his bow and arrow and he's ready to communicate, but there's a hawk holding him back. So I feel like something in their energy needs to shift before they can come forward to have an honest and heartfelt conversation with you. Like, think about the bottom of the deck energy. The top of the deck, I pulled the I pulled the Queen of Swords. So you're standing in your power right now, possibly having put up boundaries, knowing your worth. If this person is like still hurt by that truth, avoiding conversation with you, I think it's being divinely held back. Because think about it, if your person, I gotta look at what this is. The bee in reverse. And we've got the fish in reverse, and now I'm seeing the fox in reverse, the peacock in reverse, the scorpion. So if they're still, remember the camel in reverse? So if they're still in the energy that they're going to hurt you through their actions or their shadows that they're afraid to look at, I feel like communication is being held back. Because why would the universe allow, like if you are on this healing journey, especially if you're a light worker or divine feminine, but all of you, whether you're that or not, if you're in this energy, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful energy, it feels like if they were to come in today, they would bring your energy down. Like it's completely different energy right now. Yours is like high vibrational. Theirs is not. You know, it's like they're still hurt by your boundaries, or they're still hurt by whatever happened between you. They're stewing about it, which means they could still they could still be feeling triggered or with a bruised ego. You could be, I'm just thinking back to the black deck, you could be having a positive mindset or trying to keep a positive mindset or setting the intention that you don't want communication until it's the right time. You don't care how long it takes. So the bee, you could have been dealing with someone who was like someone who stung you. You could have been dealing with someone who had a lot of responsibilities, and I'm hearing, like I'm seeing the 10 of Wands. So somebody who had a lot of responsibilities, or someone who had a lot of baggage, who maybe reacted and hurt you. Like the bee card talks about, the bee can work and work and work and work, but when it's feeling overworked or stressed, it can sting you out of fear. Let me look at the bee in reverse. The bee, buzz, buzz. The bee, overworked and annoyed. Exactly. There's still like bruised ego. That not today card. When bees are too tired from all the work, then they gripe and they sting. Overworked, annoyed. So we've got overworked and annoyed. So this could be someone who's been prioritizing finances and work above all else, which means, you know, I've been there many years ago, and it could be because they're lacking happiness and fulfillment and self-love. We have them stewing over a situation from the past. Again, I'm hearing something is shifting in their energy transition, but until it shifts, I feel like this person would just repeat a cycle with you or start an argument with you. What you think is a tragedy is actually a blessing in disguise. Purification. I just heard maybe your person, I'm hearing two things. Maybe you're 444, you're being protected. Maybe your person does something for work that nobody else likes to do. Like the vulture card talks about, the vulture does the work that nobody else wants to do. The disgusting work of like picking a carcass off bones. I'm sorry if I triggered you with those words. But maybe your person does a job that, you know, not many people like to do. You, when I was looking at this vulture and about to say that, I also got another download. Maybe you're the person, I don't know if you're the first person to try, like, put up healthy boundaries with this person, or I don't want to say call them out, but kind of point at their shadows or trigger their shadows. But it's like maybe other people, their friends or whatever, have been too scared to do it, or people in the past were too intimidated to do it. So maybe when you did it, you did the job that nobody else wanted to do. I hope you can hear me. I just got a random phone call. I am waiting for a phone call, but that was not the one I was waiting for. Anyway. So this is about purification. So it's almost like their energy needs to balance before they're going to be allowed to come in. I feel like this is being divinely guided right now with the hawk. And then we have the fish in reverse, which I already know talks about being non-committal. So still in that runner energy. It's almost like I'm seeing someone stewing about you, thinking like, where's this fish? It is reminding me a bit about that reading yesterday, but like someone who's stewing, even though take a hint, person, I'm not going to answer my phone. I don't want your phone call. Maybe that's you. Now, I lost the fish. I had found the fish and I lost it because whoever that was just decided, you're not answering, I'm just going to call right back. Persistent, but still, I'm not answering. That could be symbolic for you. What was I saying? The fish is like a non-committal energy, someone who gets distracted. I can't even remember what I was talking about before that. Where is this fish? Where is this runner? It is water, right? Fish. Distracted, changes mind often. So yeah, it feels like this is someone who's still trying to balance their energy, so they could go back and forth between their intuition and their ego. Like maybe sometimes they're like, oh, maybe I do need to work on that. And then other times their ego takes over and they're like, no, that was a them problem. There's nothing wrong with me. I'm just thinking of that peacock in reverse, like someone who can't accept their own shadows. So their energy needs more time. Remember that card, needs time, takes time, time to heal. Needs more time, not today. And you trying to keep a positive mindset that when it is the right time, it'll happen. Lots of water energy for you, water and fire. So you could be feeling more emotionally balanced or more fulfilled. Could be filling up your own cup. All right. Hang on. Let me take these cards off and let me see how this person is feeling about you. How is this person feeling about you? Okay. That's good. I like this. The dragonfly. Their perception is changing, but they're still holding on to that old perception a little bit. So, intentionally holding back. Okay, so think about it. They go through, I'm sure you resonate with this, but maybe once upon a time, you went through the energy, like maybe you still go through it, but maybe once upon a time you went back and forth about this person, like, is this a twin flame or maybe this is just a karmic? And maybe one day you'd be thinking like, I never want to talk to them again. And then the next day or a week later or a month later, you'd be like, why am I feeling them so heavily? Like I miss them. I want to reach out. So you could have been going back and forth at one point in your journey about this, almost like confused. That's kind of what I'm seeing in their energy right now. It's like they go back and forth between new perspective and then sitting in that bruised ego, like victim mentality. So it's like, I'm hearing the term waffling. They're like waffling back and forth between that. So the crocodile is about intentionally withholding, not taking action, so that their next move comes from a place of power and clear perspective, the dragonfly. So submerging, cooling off. Think about the fire ant. So clearly, sometimes they're still feeling highly triggered by this, and they want their next move to come from a place of power. So they're intentionally holding back right now. The dragonfly is about things coming to light. It's about perception. It's giving King of Swords again. So someone who's gaining clarity, someone who is adapting, who's starting to heal. And this dragonfly card is about, you definitely could have been dealing with a runner. The horse is right underneath that. So the dragonfly, there's a message in the dragonfly that talks about how what you originally thought of this situation, it's not what you originally thought. So their perspective is shifting. So maybe in the past, their perspective was, that's a you problem. I'm fine. Unwilling to look or accept their own shadows. Now their perception is shifting. I'm also getting, remember when I pulled the dolphin and I said innately intelligent, and I said, maybe you're not book smart intelligent. Maybe you're life smart intelligent or artistically intelligent, whatever it is, however you're intelligent. You and this person could actually have very different forms of intelligence. Because I keep seeing the King of Swords, and this is giving me Queen of Cups. So someone who's emotional, or I guess that would be the whale, but someone who's emotionally intelligent. And you could have someone like book smart intelligence. So maybe, I don't know why I'm hearing that. I'm seeing the Queen of Cups and the King of Cups. No, the King of Swords. So maybe you two have a different way of relating or communicating or something. I don't know. I heard it, so I had to say it. All right. I also was thinking about something else when I put this shirt on. So, of course, I never wear white because I have children. And I noticed this one spot on this shirt. Little women could be symbolic. I noticed this one spot on this shirt. And it made me think when I was putting it on, again, random download. Yesterday's reading, when I was talking about divine feminine energy, like you could be working on it, maybe it's not perfect. I was just hearing that with the spot, like maybe you still have some distorted feminine energy you're working on, but you're on your way to divine feminine energy. I probably shouldn't even point it out, that spot, because now you're all looking at it. So let's see what this person is feeling about you. Let's get it. Spying. Apology. Wanting to return with an apology. Conflicted. Exactly. That's exactly what I was talking about with them. It's like Rapunzel when she came out of the tower. And if they're in that conflicted energy and they come in, you're going to get inconsistent. You're going to get inconsistency. You don't want that. All right. Let's see. And inconsistent energy can create codependent attachment. So maybe you're someone who's never experienced a codependent attachment to someone, but then this person was inconsistent with you and you started developing almost an addiction. Anyway, How are they feeling about you? No bottom of the deck. Interesting. We have hollow, empty, boredom. Remember how I said it almost feels like they're feeling unfulfilled if they're more focused on work? Now, you can argue that my work fulfills me. It fills me up with so much energy. I love it. But that's because it's not work to me. It's my mission. There's lots of people who feel fulfilled by their job, but when somebody's a workaholic, hyper fixated on work and money, it's because they're lacking fulfillment within. So hollow, they're feeling hollow without you. They feel like there's something missing in their life. We do have second chance, wanting a second chance, reconciliation, making amends, opportunity. We have spying, keeping an eye on you. Brown eyes could be symbolic. So not yet ready to come in. We have healing. This is how they feel about you. So they feel like you're healing. Releasing, purifying, cleansing. Froggy in my throat, remember? Maybe they also feel like they have more healing to do before coming in. And we have, they see you as an empath. Someone who's perceptive. Remember the gazelle. Highly perceptive. Someone with a lot of empathy. So maybe they took advantage of your vulnerability or your empathy and they feel like now you're healing that. And we have rejection. So this person could have rejected you. Hang on. This person could have rejected you because of some irrational fear, trauma. Or maybe they feel like you're going to reject them. That's weird. I just said no bottom of the deck. I thought there wasn't a bottom of the deck. One day, someday, somewhere, another time, intentionally withdrawing their energy. So they know they want to have this conversation someday at another time, not today. Divine masculine energy and twin flame. You know, mirroring. The fact that divine masculine is in reverse, though, it feels like this person is lacking the confidence to step up and still a little bit in their ego. All right. I don't know why I keep hearing butthurt. Is that an expression you use? Mistakes. So this person knows they made mistakes here. Pain, apprehensive about approaching you, Queen of Swords. Afraid, cautious. So they are in pain here. We have abandoned. So they could have abandoned this connection quite suddenly. Or for some of you, you maybe put up boundaries and they felt, I'm telling you, it could be that you put up boundaries and they went ghost, I'm hearing. Oh my gosh, divine feminine. So you're working on your shadows. Divine feminine energy. So you're not chasing, you're focusing on yourself. When that comes up as feelings, though, that they feel like you're the divine feminine, I'm not necessarily saying that they know what a divine feminine is, but it means that there's something special about you, that nobody really has ever made them feel that way. No one's ever triggered them that way. We have nourish, self-growth, self-focused, soul-finding, my little turtle. Let's just get a few more. 1, 2, 3. All right. We have shocking. turmoil. Tower moment, the panther, remember? So there was definitely trouble in this connection, turmoil in this connection. Maybe they weren't expecting to meet you. Or, you know, for those of you that they abandoned this connection, maybe it came out of nowhere. We have hopeless. Despair, falling apart. And then we have depth for how they feel about you. Gaining new perspectives, gaining new awareness, realizing your value. All right, let's get tarot. It's interesting, I have no channeled messages within my reach, which is weird for me. Usually I always have channeled messages within my reach. Maybe they're really not ready to talk. Oh my gosh, underneath the Two of Cups, we have the Four of Wands. All right, let's see what we need to know here. What are you? What are you? Two of Wands. Needing to make a decision. Stepping out of their comfort zone, needing to step out of their comfort zone, needing to look at patterns that have kept them stuck from moving forward. Two of Wands. We have the Seven of Wands, boundaries. Maybe this connection, Two of Wands, never turned into a healthy, stable relationship, and that's what you wanted. So maybe you put up boundaries. They also could have been highly defensive. Maybe somebody's blocked on social media. And we have the High Priestess on the bottom of the deck. Highly intuitive. Highly perceptive. Light worker. And the Four of Pentacles. I feel like someone's feeling very insecure about coming towards you. Someone hasn't been able to let go of your energy. And you could be being silent and guarded. Just think about that phone call that was coming in. And I didn't answer it, and they called again. And I was like, I'm not going to answer. I don't want to talk to you. Let's see. Let's look at you first, my beautiful friend. You first. Divine Feminines first. So we have the King of Cups. We have the Three of Cups in reverse. And the Seven of Swords in reverse. Three of Cups in reverse for you. For some of you, you could feel like a third-party interference came in between you and this person. You could be even like, even though you love this person, you could even be refusing friendship at this time. Three of Cups in reverse for you. Okay, let's talk about it while I work through this energy. We have the King of Cups. Remember I kept saying I was seeing the King of Cups. I was seeing the King of Cups in reverse though. So the Seven of Swords shows that you're no longer running away from the truth. You're no longer, like I'm hearing, you're no longer enabling bad behavior. You know, Seven of Swords in reverse is you're done with the games, you're done with the lies, you're done, like it's the end of playing games, right? Seven of Swords. Maybe for a while you thought you could help this person. This kind of gives me the energy of, you know, it kind of gives me the energy that you're done pretending that this could fix itself, and you're like giving into that separation. The Three of Cups in reverse speaks of a third-party interference coming between you. So for some of you, the third-party interference could have been wounding. It could have been their ego. It could have been work. It could have been somebody else. I don't think you're feeling unfulfilled, not from what I was seeing in your animal energy and the black cards. But I feel like you're not giving this person energy, not even friendship. And we have the King of Cups. So you, right now, emotionally mature, a balance of head and heart. So even though you probably love this person a great deal, your head, your logical mind, that Queen of Swords, is saying, I'm done with that. I'm done with an imbalance of energy or a third party coming in between me and this person. Or like you could have been dealing with someone who was running away from their shadows, like I said. Again, the King of Cups, it's a healthy balance of head and heart. So this is different than going back and forth between your heart and your ego. This is like logical thought. Like, I love this person, but logically, I know I deserve better. Do you know what I mean? And we also have the Eight of Wands. So you could be not accepting communication. But this is also about rapid change and rapid growth. Forward movement. Let's get a few more for you. How is the viewer doing right now? One more. Two of Wands. So you, looking at the patterns that have kept you stuck from moving forward, you could be making decisions about your future right now. We have the Four of Swords in reverse. The Two of Wands, that came out in your energy yesterday. So clarity, awareness, healing, awakening. Beautiful. We have the Hanged Man. So surrendering, new perspectives. Remember that Seven of Swords. I will no longer put up with whatever you were putting up with. You have clarity and awareness. You're healing from whatever that was. Whatever happened between you and this person, you're healing. Four of Swords in reverse. And maybe for some of you, this person did recently reach out, but you're like, I'm not going to answer. I want to see how you're feeling about this person. How are you feeling about this person? Six of Pentacles. Maybe you feel the Emperor in reverse. So maybe you feel like this person needs help. Like maybe a therapy with some of their patterns. You could have been stuck in a cycle with this person where you felt like it was one-sided or they weren't reciprocating your energy. King of Swords in reverse. Someone who couldn't handle their reactions. Someone who had a hard time taking accountability. Someone who could have been highly defensive. Someone who doesn't meet your standards anymore, even though you love them. This is about high standards. This is about the opposite. So like maybe you lowered your standards for this person. But this could have been someone, very hurtful words. King of Swords in reverse. Could have been a little bit manipulative. This is someone who caused you sadness. Five of Cups. Maybe you think they're still butthurt. Remember? And the Emperor in reverse. So they weren't showing up in divine masculine energy. Very much in their ego. Very distorted masculine energy, like very argumentative, wanting to be right. Very argumentative, whatever the word is. Caused you sadness. Again, maybe you do feel like they need some help. Therapy. Maybe they're lacking confidence. My solar plexus is grumbling. Let's see their current energy. 333 on the timer. What is their current energy? I really hope this, that's funny. I need to take that card. I was really hoping that phone call would come in. Knight of Swords. I did mention the Knight of Swords. So this is someone, fear of intimacy. Their current energy, it feels like there is something they want to say to you though, but they could be feeling very impulsive about reaching out to you. But again, remember I said that hawk. It feels like their higher self or someone is stopping them from reaching out impulsively. Five of Pentacles, feeling very left out in the cold, fearing rejection if they come forward. Feeling very insecure. Six of Wands, bruised ego. Remember the fire ant. Bruised ego, you bruised their ego. They're essentially licking their wounds. Feeling very left out in the cold. Page of Pentacles, though. That shows the start of growth. The Ace of Pentacles, the Ten of Swords in reverse. That means they're learning lessons. Maybe about their ego. There is a little bit of growth here. What is their current energy? One more. The Hermit, self-reflection. They have a lot of reversals coming out. And so do you. We have the King of Wands in reverse, so they're in their ego still. A little bit, but the Hermit, so they're reflecting possibly about their own King of Wands in reverse energy. So this could have been someone who is very full of ego, someone who was maybe a little bit self-absorbed. Maybe they prioritized their needs over this connection. How are they feeling about you? Their energy is very conflicting. Three of Wands. So they could be feeling like you're moving forward without them. There is an energy of wanting to come towards you. They feel like you're going through growth. You're moving forward. Eight of Cups in reverse. So it's like this person, I always say the Eight of Cups to me can be like a boomerang. It's, someone who walked away wanting to come back, or they want you to walk back towards them. But the Eight of Cups is also about staying in a bad situation. So they could be feeling like, think about it. I'm seeing like their ego and their intuition are kind of at war with each other, because they go back and forth from having a new perspective to feeling like bruised ego. But I think this person, the Hermit, is reflecting on how they were showing up, like the King of Wands in reverse. What else did we have? The Five of Pentacles, the Six of Wands in reverse. But they're reflecting on their own behavior here, and I do believe that they are feeling like, you stayed in this situation accepting less than you deserved. Like they're starting to see it. Page of Pentacles. We have strength in reverse. Bruised ego. But they're feeling insecure about you. Queen of Swords. So they're feeling apprehensive about approaching you because you know your worth. Higher standards. They feel like you've raised your standards. And we've got the Devil in reverse. So they feel like you've released them. Like you're no longer codependently attached to them. They're feeling not so confident about coming towards you. You could be someone who is very self-aware with the Devil in reverse. This is also about unhealthy patterns. So I feel like there were unhealthy patterns within this connection. Boundaries. All right. I want to see what they're intending to do. What are they intending to do in the near future? We have the Ten of Cups. We have the Two of Swords in reverse, which I'm hearing time to make a move. Yeah, the Chariot is right underneath that. So they know they need to make a move. They're intending to come towards you, the Chariot. Focus. Thank you. So they're planning on taking decisive action towards you. Ten of Swords in reverse. So they want to come in and remove these painful swords. Who's eating? What are you eating? So it looks like their intentions are to choose fulfillment, you. They want to come in and heal this connection. You know, they want to make a decision and come towards you here. That's their near future intentions. So let's see what their action will be towards you. What's their action going to be? The Nine of Cups on the bottom. So we have the Eight of Pentacles. This is really King of Pentacles. So it feels like they want to come in very stable. Eight of Pentacles. They want to invest in this connection after working on themselves. We have the Queen of Cups. So the Queen of Cups in love is about wanting to deepen an already existing connection, wanting to be compassionate, not bruised ego, not butt hurt. We have Death, transformation. They want to transform this connection. We have the Page of Cups and we have the Sun. New perspectives. So they want to show you that they have a new perspective. They want to shed light on their new perspective. Remember, endings bring new beginnings. Transition. The Coffin card. Maybe they recently lost someone. That can change a person. Sometimes, though, it can make people shut off as well. And I have a specific example, but sometimes when somebody experiences the death of someone close to them, it can make them afraid to lose anyone else, so they start pushing people away. Maybe that's something they did in the past here. Like maybe in the past, they lost someone very important to them and they kind of shut down. But anyway, Page of Cups, coming in with new perspectives, wanting to revisit a connection. Page of Cups. The Sun, bringing clarity, wanting to heal it. Queen of Cups, maybe they're younger than you, wanting to... It's almost like, remember I was hearing, it's almost like this person, the way that you were thinking about them. The King of Swords. And remember I started hearing something about the dolphin and the dragonfly and like book smart, emotionally smart, intelligent, remember? So it almost feels like this person is going to approach you in a more vulnerable way with a new perspective. What should you focus on right now? They're coming in, trying to be positive. What should you focus on right now? Page of Pentacles. If you have a creative project you've been thinking about starting, do it. Or if you have a creative project that you were working on in the past that because of this connection, maybe you stopped working on it, or for whatever reason, work on that. A new creative endeavor, a new creative project, or revisiting a creative project. Maybe starting your own business. Maybe starting your mission. But focus on taking it one day at a time, slow and steady. Focus on your boundaries. We have the Queen of Wands. Yes, focus on your creativity. Focus on your confidence. Focus on your self-love. A glow up does not come from, again, a glow up can, you can feel refreshed after getting a haircut. I haven't had a haircut in, I don't know, I don't even want to say the last time I got my hair done. Oh gosh, how old are my children? I don't think I've been to a hairdresser since, not that it matters, in 12 years. Oh my gosh, that's hilarious. Anyway, you can definitely go get your hair done and stuff like that. It'll uplift you. But a true glow up comes from empowering yourself, from finding your spark. I searched for my spark and I found it. That song, beautiful song, lovely song, sung by children. Focus on what lights you up inside, which is probably something creative or spiritually related. But again, a glow up, I distracted myself. A glow up doesn't come from what we do to ourselves externally necessarily, although working out can help. A glow up is an energetic thing. It's what's going on within you. It's the healing. It's the self-love. That's why so often we don't actually see a change on the outside, but people tell us, you are glowing, like you look so different. And you're like, I haven't done anything different. The only person you need to outdo is the person you were in the past. Truth. Affirmation popping down for you. And that's the only person you should compare yourself to as well. You don't need to compare or outdo yourself to anyone except the past version of you. So focus on your glow up. Focus on your confidence, standing in your power. And 5 of Swords in reverse. Focus on, what are you eating? Seriously, I want some. I know somebody's eating something. I can feel it. Focus on forgiving yourself for putting up with less than you deserved. Focus on making amends with yourself for maybe enabling people to mistreat you throughout your lifetime. Focus on self-sabotaging tendencies or ways that you're self-sabotaging. Remember, self-sabotage is knowing that something isn't good for you and continuing to do it, including relationships, including eating too many cookies. I'm trying not to eat cookies right now, if you haven't been able to tell. So, again, I have no channeled messages anywhere. Oh no, I do see one within my reach. So we're grabbing that one because that's the one within my reach. Cupid says, what does Cupid say today? Can you believe it's going to be Valentine's Day soon? It feels like just yesterday I committed myself to spending Valentine's Day with you. You were my date. Do you remember that? Were you here then? And I came and I did a channeled message reading from your person. And then I did a love reading for yourself about why you're so amazing. It feels like it was just yesterday. Where does the time go? When I stopped to say that, if only we could travel back in time. You can't travel back in time, but you don't need to if you heal and take accountability. I feel the same. Well, that's good. It still hurts. You see? That's what I mean. They're still feeling Butter. I shouldn't be saying that. It still hurts. So there's still a little bit, I'm hearing like maybe a little bit of resentment there. It's going to take time. So trust in divine timing, be patient. It starts from you. Interesting. So maybe this change started when you spoke your authentic truth. Divine feminine leads the way and all that. Let's make magic happen. What do you want from me? Interesting. You could have wanted this person just to heal. Rise and rise again like the phoenix. 2 more for you from this person. Oh, look, 2 right there. I love you more. Maybe maybe that's something you said to each other, like, I love you more. Cuddles, please. This person missing your physical affection. That's an interesting one. Don't go back to the way things were. Don't travel back in time. If only we could travel back in time. Do you really want to travel back in time to the way things were? Don't go back to the way it was. That was a message yesterday. It's like their higher self is saying, don't accept the past version of me. I can do better. Hang on. And on the bottom of the deck, how could you be so attractive? I'm confused. I know they're confused. They're working on it. Anyway, I am sending you lots of love and light, my friends, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.